First, we do want to get to that weather forecast. Brendan Menchef in for Rob today. Brendan, what's it looking like for those who are heading to work this morning?
Yeah, if you are off to work this morning and you're in the Sacramento area, rain tapering off a little bit right now. If you're headed to the Bay Area, things are going to be okay. Roads are very wet. If you're in the San Joaquin Valley, Stockton, Modesto, Lodi, anywhere down there, headed from Tracy to Livermore, it is heavier rain down there. We'll zoom in. You can see even some of these darker red shades. That is some very heavy rain working its way now just to the northeast of the Stockton, Modesto area, and it will be pushing off into the Sierra. When it gets to the Sierra, that heavy rain is going to turn into heavy snow, making for even worse travel conditions. And really, it's just going to snow all day long in the Sierra today. Looking at a winter storm warning continues from now through Tuesday morning, an additional 6 to 12 inches, potentially as much as an additional 2 feet in some areas. In the valley, not going to rain all day. Once we get to the afternoon, drying out, about 55 for a high temperature today. But again, if you're going to the Sierra, travel not recommended, but if you are, make sure you bring your chain controls in effect. If you're headed out and about just in the valley today, raincoat, umbrella for this morning. Not going to need it all day long, though, as a break in the rain is coming starting this afternoon. But this morning, it is still very wet out there. Not a lot of major traffic issues. The biggest thing to deal with, though, is that there is very wet roads out there and there is ponding on those roadways. So just take it slow. Down near Stockton and Modesto, again, not seeing a lot of traffic backups, but there is a lot of water on the roads. Remember, the heavier rain was down in Stockton and Modesto this morning, still is. So I-5 and 99 both very slow right now with the water on the road. So Stockton to Sacramento, about 40 minutes. Modesto to Sacramento, almost 70 minutes. And if you're off to Tracy, it's going to take you about 25 minutes between Tracy and Livermore right now.
All right, Brendan, thank you so much. And there's another wet commute underway right now for Northern California. There's rain in greater Sacramento and certainly more snow up in the high country.
ABC 10's Bridget Biorlo taking a look at conditions in Sacramento.
Another soggy start to the work week with more wet weather raining down on the valley. Rain totals looking light for your Monday, but all this is only adding to what is already accumulated on the ground. Wilton remains under an evacuation warning due to flooding and poor road conditions. Emergency crews still working to clear flooded roads and restore power outages to affected neighborhoods. This as river levels remain high with more rain on the way. Floodwaters also forcing the evacuation of the Arbor Mobile Home Park in Acampo. Crews with the Lodi Fire Department and San Joaquin County Sheriff's Office spending all day Sunday getting residents out safely and removing some of the standing water. Deputies blocking off the park and asking people to avoid driving through the area. This latest storm system only expected to bring up to an inch to the Sacramento Valley, a little more south of us in places like Stockton. And for those heading home from Lake Tahoe, expect Interstate 80 and Highway 50 to be a bit slow going as everyone returns back to the valley. Back to you.
Bridget, thank you. Travelers from across the region hit the slopes over the holiday weekend, but according to Sierra Tahoe spokesperson, the resort never hit capacity. He says the recent series of storms may have contributed to a lower turnout. Meanwhile, those who were able to make it out there are now tasked with traveling home today.
If people tend to want to rush home, they could be going faster than the conditions, and we've had experiences where there's multiple spinouts, and what happens is the highway ends up being shut down.
Well, Caltrans recommends checking road conditions before you go and, of course, packing chains. Now, with all of the severe weather, road hazards are popping up across the region.
That's right. From the Sierra to the Valley for the last few weeks, we've seen just how bad things can get under these conditions. ABC 10's Monica Coleman is with us right now. Monica, you did talk with state and local safety officials, so what did they share with you?
They said the message is easy. All you have to do is stay inside. As the rain continues to trickle down this morning, I was driving into work and had to go under the speed limit, avoiding standing water that can damage your vehicle. Cal Fire and other officials are urging people to stay inside, to only come out if absolutely necessary. The warning comes as Mother Nature continues to show Northern California who's boss as heavy downpours flood the region and the state. Jason Clay with Cal Fire says people should be aware of road hazards.
And that could be from rock slides, mudslides, or trees, or even power lines that are coming down. So we really ask people to increase their following distances from the cars in front of them and just slow down on the roadways.
Be vigilant and be alert, says Clay. If you must get out on the roads, prepare yourself in advance. Get online, go to the Caltrans website and look at their quick maps to see if there are any closures on the route that you are going to be taking this morning. Also, CAL FIRE is working with other state and local agencies to clear these hazards, mitigate the hazards, and keep those roadways open while also keeping the public safe.
You would like to have people slow down?
Yeah.
I was on 5 South yesterday. It was just hailing, and people were whipping by me like it was a sunny day.
Right,
And
doing
I'm
the
like,
absolute opposite what you need to be doing.
you're going to get what you're going to get, but don't hit me while you're doing that.
Right.
So, all right, Monica, thank you. Great story. We do remind you, now is a great time to download your free ABC 10 app. You can track local conditions and have warnings sent straight to your phone.